Hi, and welcome back to another video. And today I'll be talking about Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear being elected or picked, or however you want to call it. I'll just say picked because that's what the article says, being picked to be the chairman of the Democratic Governors Association. Now, if you don't know what the Democratic Governors Association, I'm going to call it the DGA. Actually, no, I'm going to call it the Democratic Governors Association. I like that better than just three letters. If you do not know what that was established in 1965, and it is an organization in Washington, D.C. to help elect Democrats as governors all across the nation. Obviously, now they always haven't been successful. As of right now, the chair of the Democratic Governors Association is a Democrat governor from Kansas, Laura Kelly, and Andy Beshear actually served as vice chair. Now, before her was Tim Walz, who obviously had to step down from chair once Kamala Harris chose him to be his running mate. So he decided to step down as chair as he was forced to, and Laura Kelly took his place. Now, because of the bad performance by the Democrats in the elections, but they did perform pretty well in the governor elections for 2024, I must say. I can't say the same for the Senate or on the presidency scale, but for the governors, they did pretty well. And Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is going to lead them to win governor elections in the 2026 midterms. Now, remember, these 2026 midterms will be during right in the middle of Trump's second presidency. And um, for anyone who's been following politics for a really long time, or possibly longer than me, you will probably remember 2018 and how good of a year it really was for, the Democrats. Let me just go to past. I don't know why my thing wasn't working here, but if we go to, okay, so it's deciding to be slow. If we go to governors, if we go to governors, okay, there we go. Um, okay, when it loads here, but oh my, why did it go back to the CNN results? Past elections. Okay, so it's loading. Anyway, so if we go to 2018, obviously there were some screw-ups by the Democrats. Ron DeSantis won by the skin of his teeth. We had Kemp winning by only a point, which he ended up improving in his re-election bid in 2022. You also had Larry Hogan winning by 11 points in 2018. This was 2018 on the House scale. Was supposed to be, well, it was a blue wave year. I guess it's kind of how you look at it, but really there was a lot of good performance here. In Pennsylvania, had Wolf winning by 17 points, Cuomo winning by 23, Michigan, Whitmer winning by 9, Minnesota, Evers. So good performing in the blue wall here, along with Kansas winning by 5 points, Colorado 10, New Mexico 14, Nevada 4. Obviously, I'm not really going to use California as an example. California is very blue. But you still have states like Florida, which was still at that point considered a swing state, which is no longer anymore. It is no longer a swing state. It is a deep red state. It is probably, in my opinion, more Republican than Texas at this point. You could see Governor Greg Abbott winning his election in 2018 by 13 points, which, not surprising. But actually, looking back at it, this is actually the amount of, I believe Donald Trump actually got this amount of the percentage vote in the 2024 election for Texas. But anyways, yeah. So you can see some of these governor elections really didn't go the Democrats' way, especially in Maryland, especially here in New England, and especially in Florida. And Florida doesn't really look winnable. However, there are going to be some very interesting races here. Now, I have the 2026 governor map up here, along with what we can fill in here. But still, you have. Okay, so let's go through the term limited Democrats right now. So we have Michigan, California, Colorado, New Mexico, Kansas, and Maine. So that is about six, I believe, yeah, six term limited Democrats. And now for term limited Republicans, we have Ohio, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, Alaska. Uh, so yeah, we have all these states. So that's about, I believe that's about nine, unless I, hold on, Yeah, that's about nine. That is about nine. So a lot more than the term limit Democrats, and of course we have the Democrat incumbents who are running for re-election. We have, Kathy Hochul and Josh Shapiro and Katie Hobbs. Yeah. So, but there are still some popular governors who will no longer be running because they are term limited, like Brian Kemp or Ron DeSantis, who could possibly be in Trump's cabinet. I've been seeing some news about him recently. But yeah, so you have a lot of interesting governor races here, and it's going to be very interesting to watch. And yeah, so it will be Andy Beshear's job to organize candidates here, help them campaign, make sure they win, and if he does a good job, he'll stay in his chair. And you're probably wondering why. Why was Governor Andy Beshear chosen to be chair of the Democratic Governor Association? Well, why was he chosen to lead? Well, it is because if we go back to 2023 here, you can see Beshear winning his governor election by 5 points. Now, that is a deep red state. To show you how deep that is, I'm going to go back to the presidency side here, and I'm going to show you how much President Trump, President-elect Trump, won Kentucky. So this is 2020. Look at how much Trump won Kentucky by in 2020, and now you use that for 2024 here. He won it by another. He won it by 30 points. What I was going to say was he won it by another 5 points, which wasn't true. But what is true is that it shifted 5 points to the right. Kentucky is getting more Republican and more Republican with each election cycle. Obviously, which is good news for Trump and the Republicans that live in Texas. But Andy Beshear, who before this election, obviously, so at this point Kentucky was a Trump plus 25 state. He was able to win by 5 points. You put that is a 20-point shift to the left. Obviously, that is not on the presidential side. That's a governor side. But when Andy Beshear won his governor election in 2019, that was during the first Trump term. It was kind of towards the end of it. If we go to 2019 here, look how close Andy Beshear won his election against his Republican opponent. Now Andy Beshear, wasn't running as a governor at the time, just as a Democratic candidate, and he won by such close margins, under half a point. He won by under half a point. So really historic and really impressive. And then he would go on to win re-election by over 5 points. 5 points. So you can really understand here why the Democrats are choosing Andy Beshear to lead the Democratic Governor Association. When it comes down to the 2026 midterms, they are probably upset by some of the losses in 2024. Obviously, North Carolina was a good pickup, but still, there were other opportunities and other ways to win, and they didn't do so well. They were rejected across the board, and not by the governor side. I'm obviously talking about the presidency, the Senate, not so much the House, but mostly the presidency and the Senate. It was brutal for Democrats there, but especially those two. So yeah, Governor Andy Beshear is being chosen to lead to try and help the Democrats really uh, get a good election performance in the 2026 midterms, as I'm sure a lot of Democrats are looking forward to the 2026 midterms. So yeah, looking to strengthen his foothold in national politics, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear taking a lead role for Democrats' effort to win governorships in the 2026 midterm election, when a majority of states will be electing governors, including a crucial set of presidential swing states. Democratic governors on Saturday picked Beshear as a chair-elect of the Democratic Governors Association for 2026. He will serve as vice chair in 2025, when Kansas Governor Lori Kelly will continue serving as the group's chair. Voters in Virginia and New Jersey will elect governors next year. So as of right now, he is not the chair right now. He is still the vice chair, but eventually he will, become chair of the Democratic Governor Association. You guys are probably going to get sick of me constantly saying those three words. Anyways, his selection sets up Beshear to play a lead role in candidate recruitment, messaging, and fundraising for 2026. when the DGA, or Democratic Governor Association, says governorships are up for grabs in 36 states, including the presidential battlegrounds of Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Obviously, as we know, Donald Trump was able to win Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, and Arizona. So Democrats are looking forward to getting some Democrats in the governorships, especially in probably Nevada and Georgia, as they also did lose those last time. So yeah, those were missed opportunities last time around. We have Brian Kemp winning his reelection by 7 points. We also have Nevada, which even I wasn't expecting this. This flipped to the Republicans by just 1 point. So obviously, Democrats are hoping to unseat Lombardo, and we're gonna see how that turns out. That'll be very interesting to watch. Um, we of course have Florida. Florida will be interesting because Ron DeSantis won by such a landslide margin, almost 20 points. So it's going to be interesting to see which parties choose which candidates. But if you ask me, I do believe that Republicans are heavily favored in Florida, and I don't really think Democrats stand a chance. And if I was Andy Beshear, I would not be spending a single cent in Florida because it is just gone for the Democrats, especially when you saw it on the presidential election just a month ago, where Donald Trump just destroyed Kamala Harris in Florida. Obviously, there were other places where Donald Trump lost to Kamala Harris, but in the end, he got a good performance in Florida. He actually got Ron DeSantis margin. Sure, he underperformed Ron DeSantis a little bit, but 13 points is a big improvement since his 2020 election defeat to Joe Biden. So yeah, all that is so interesting to watch. It's going to be very interesting to watch these 2026 governor elections. And obviously, I will be tracking it on the channel. You guys can check out all the videos. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see where all this goes, what Andy Beshear does, and how it's going to turn out. But anyways, that is the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please like and subscribe, and follow me on Blue Sky at Vote Breakdown, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.